What's up, boys? It is Johnny with CEO of One. Welcome back. We are going to show you how we soft wash a house today. We are downstreaming. Don't worry about that. We'll explain it later. Basically, we're spraying water and bleach on this house. We don't call it bleach professionally. We call it sodium hypochlorite, or SH, in the business. And essentially, we're using about a 1% sodium hypochlorite. Now, you can find this at a pool store at about a 12%. You can buy it from specialty chem suppliers. You can also find it at Walmart as chlorinating liquid. Pool Essentials is one of the brand that comes to mind. That is a 10% sodium hypochlorite. It says so on the label. And if you're at Home Depot, you can find the HDX brand, which is also a chlorinating liquid for pools. It's sodium hypochlorite, and that is also a 10% mixture. You want to cut that down to about a 1%, 1.5% in order to wash a house. You can do that at a batch mixer, or you can do it downstreaming through your pressure washer, which is what we're doing today through a downstream valve. And ours is about a 1.5%, 1.25% sodium hypochlorite to water. So you're not bleaching the house to a point where it would be dangerous for the house, the animals, or anything like that. But it would certainly probably what do you want to say, discolor your clothing a little bit, maybe bleach it a little. When I'm washing, I like to apply to everything. The bricks, everything gets a coating of sodium hypochlorite. This kills any bacteria, germs, anything like that, as well as all of this green that you saw growing on the side of this house a minute ago. We're going to clean all of that off really, really well. It's just a gliocapsomagma or gliocapsomagma in the industry. That's a black bacteria, but this looks like a green algae or moss type covering. I think probably algae is the best way to say that, but it will just melt away with maybe about 5 to 10 minute dwell time or wait time before you rinse it off. You don't ever want to leave any sodium hypochlorite on a house, but we rinsed it off after about, I want to say we probably worked about this house 2 cycles, meaning we applied and then rinsed. So we did half the house, then the other half of the house. So it's one side and one of the longer sides, and then of course the other short side and the other longer side. Again, this one here we taped off any electrical stuff, so we don't have to worry about sodium hypochlorite and water getting into any electrical outlets, lights, the top of lights where gravity might carry the water down, because the saltiness of sodium hypochlorite makes it a little bit better conductor than just water alone, and the last thing you want is to burn a customer's house down. So be mindful of that, gentlemen. But check this out. We are shooting up to the top, no problem. This is a little harder to do with just a standard garden hose unless you get a specialty nozzle. There are a couple at Home Depot that will give you like 40% boost or something, allowing you to shoot higher. You can also attach it to the end of a large pole and turn the water on and send the pole up in the air, at which point you can gain 20 feet depending on how long your pole is. Pause. Alright, boys, this house came out really, really well. The customer was super happy. I drove over there this morning. It's about probably 6 days since we washed this house, and I just made sure everything looked good. She had a couple of columns out front that were white, and they had a little bit of overrun that had come down from the top of them, and it wasn't long, maybe 4 or 5 feet worth of discoloration, but I cleaned it right up for her, and it looked phenomenal. But take a real quick look at the side of this house now. I'll put a before up earlier and take a look at the after here, and we'll zoom in on it, but looks pretty darn good to me. I mean, considering where we were before, this looks just fine. Our customer was very happy. So what more could you want, guys? I'm John with CEO of One. If you want to learn more about soft washing, washing houses, pressure washing, any of these things, or running a small business like this for yourself, make sure you hit subscribe and hit like. Thanks, guys. We'll see you next time.